When I was a young mom, I was hoping during that season of my life that I could raise my kids, but also do the things that I love to do personally, which in my case was doing my art. And during the process of doing that, I realized I kept pushing my kids aside. I realized what I was doing internally. So I decided that I was going to box up my supplies. I labeled it art stuff, sealed it up with tape, and I put it on the shelf. And as I did that, I said to the Lord, I said, God, I give you my art stuff, and if you want me to have it back someday, great. But I'm going to focus on raising my kids and investing in their lives now. So I was really content to leave it where it was and trust Him that if He wanted to give it back, that was His business. When we started what is now Ever Thine Home, we took a long time to think through what do we want to call this. And we decided to call it Ever Thine Home because it's about a woman in her home, and it's about centering it all on God and on what He has done in her life. But when we looked at a tagline, we wrestled with words for a long, long time, and we came up with Believe Beautifully. Believe is about where we're going to put our faith. What are you going to believe in? What are you going to count on in your life? Beautifully is the other side of it, because God is a God of beauty. Just look at the world that He has created. It's spectacular. It's beautiful. It's amazing what He has done. And so the things that we display in our homes need to have a hint of that, need to have a suggestion of who He really is. Everything we do at Ever Thine Home can be summed up in the verses found in Deuteronomy 6, verses 6 through 9. God said that we need to display His truth on our doorposts and on our gates. So we're trying to create things that help you as a woman communicate your faith. So we want to provide Bible study tools, unique, creative ways to get children and moms and dads into the Scriptures so that moms and dads have the privilege of teaching their children who Christ is. But we also want to create products and resources that aren't necessarily as in-depth, because moms and dads don't always have that kind of time. They want to be able to do something quick, maybe in 2 or 3 minutes over breakfast before everybody heads off for the day. So we've also created some things that are very easy to use. So we have a wreath, we have a plaque that you can hang on your wall, we have a banner for Easter that you just hang up, and on Easter Sunday you flip it over and it says He is risen. So we have items that are very easy to use that make a statement but don't require you to take a lot of time and preparation to be able to interact with your kids. One of the encouragements I really like to give young moms is, it is okay if you start and don't finish any one of these things that we've created. And so we've created some things like Messiah Mystery, which is a 6-week session that you can do with your children during Lent. So one day each week during the season of Lent. This is an opportunity for moms and dads to do some serious Bible study with your children. And kids as young as 5 or 6 can pay attention, but it's not going to be boring if you've got a 17 or an 18-year-old. My daughter, who has 5 boys, has started Messiah Mystery 2 years in a row now and has yet to finish it. But I tell her, and I tell all these other young moms, doing 2 lessons is better than doing no lessons. So don't say, I can't do it, I don't have time, we'll never finish it. Finishing is not the goal. Getting your children and yourself in Scripture and talking together as a family about how can we love better? What can we learn about Christ through this? Just one conversation is worth it. I talked to a friend the other day who said to me something that I hadn't ever thought of before. This friend said, your home is like an embassy. And when he said that, I thought, he's right. Our homes are an embassy because God tells us in His Word that we're ambassadors. We're His ambassadors to the nations and wherever He's placed us. And so when you think about it, if we're ambassadors, the home we live in is our embassy to the world. And so that was so wonderful for me to hear, because I thought that's exactly what we're trying to do at Ever Thine Home. So I think our homes are extremely important because we nurture in our homes, we love in our homes, we raise our children. That's where we do life. But when we talk about that our homes are also a place to communicate our faith and what we believe, and we think about our homes as an embassy, to me, it elevates it to a whole nother level. I got a letter from my mom not too long ago who discovered How Do I Love Thee on our website, and we designed that around Valentine's Day when everybody's thinking about love. But she found it in May, and she thought, oh, I need to teach my kids how to love. They just are not, they're at each other, they're complaining, they're griping, and I want to teach them how to love. So she ordered it, and she did How Do I Love Thee with her children in May, and she said it not only made a big difference with my girls, she said it made a big difference with me too, because as I was reading the scripture to my children, I was being convicted that I was not being loving toward them either. We want to help those conversations happen. We want to help those questions arise when someone comes to your home and they see something and they say, what does that mean? Tell me more about that. That's why we do what we do at Ever Thine Home. May Ever Thine Home in your home help you believe beautifully.